Catrice, so lovely to meet you on Zoom.
Thank you very much. It's nice to meet you too.
Uh, I've seen your Instagram. I've seen you on Instagram, and I saw that you are involved in this show, the drag show, and I see on it's done at Schönbrunn.
Yes.
Yeah,
Actually, we have two shows at Schönbrunn right now. There is
yeah,
like a matinee evening show, and then there is the brunch show. But I think you mean the morning show, the brunch show. Yeah.
yeah,
Then we.
yeah. So tell me about that.
It's more like a theater play. Actually,
Yeah.
it is written by Tamara Mascara. She's a very well-known drag queen and performer here in Austria. And during quarantine, she was writing this play. And in this play, I characterized the role of the Emperor Sissi.
Yeah.
And Sissi is very depressed and wants to find her own freedom. And under circumstances, she starts dressing up as a man to go out and be incognito with other people, so she can like experience true freedom. And it has like a comedic side, but it also has like a very serious female empowering side to it that's very modern, but also like always a hint to past times that like Sissi existed. That
Mm. That's so interesting because that's really also a bit true about her history, that she was unhappy and that she wanted that freedom. Mm.
Yes, and then this also like documented that Sissi also like dressed up in a very manly manner, if you want to, and like really go to balls where she had masks on and stuff, so people wouldn't recognize her. So there's like a nod to history that's actually true. Yeah.
Mm. And your this show, it's like you say, it's a bit comedy, but it also has that deeper edge to it.
It's like we had like very rough times past us and maybe still ahead of us. So I think it's important to have like a comedic approach to things, so people can express their feelings and laugh. But we also have like a very serious topic with female empowering right now, with female people like being very under pressure and stuff. So I think it's a very good approach to this kind of topic.
Mm. And the way you do it is also, I mean, it's very glamorous. I mean, these drag shows are extremely glamorous. And I was thinking when I saw it, I've never been to a drag show. But what I see from the pictures and what I've seen, I've looked at all four of you on your Instagram pages, and you are you are so talented in many aspects. You know, you are singers, you are actors, you are comedians. Really, you are also stylists, because the way you style yourselves and the makeup that you do. Um, I mean, it's a full or multifaceted talent that you have.
Yeah, it's a drag gives for me. I can only talk for myself.
Mm.
Drag gives me like a very wide range of artistic reach, because I can express myself through a lot of different branches, you know, and that's very the wonderful part of drag,
Mm.
to have this wide range of expression.
Yeah, and these costumes that you have for these performances, for example, um, was that so specifically because I saw that dress that you have, that white dress that you wear. It's really iconic on all the pictures that we see of Sissi. Was that the
The
deliberate?
dress,
Yeah.
the costumes are all costumes that you see on that stage are made by Tamara Mascara. She's like a seamstress. She knows how to do
Wow.
it. She
Mm.
learned it. She made all the dresses herself, and yeah, she has a very good detailed eye with things. And there's like this very famous painting of Sissi. I can't remember Winter something, the painter, and she like really tried to like have a nod to their like very detailed and stuff that worked pretty well, and all the costumes are very elaborate, I think, and it makes
Yes,
a very sophisticated look for the whole theater thing. Yeah, I think it adds a very sophisticated touch.
absolutely. Yeah. And what I find very interesting is that it's the fine detail, up to the fine detail, to the nails, to the, you are so absolutely perfectly groomed in that sense, that, yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. But now, apart from this performance, you have your own. You are Catrice. Do you reinvent yourself? Do you have a specific look that you go for?
Um, I'm that's a hard thing because I never try to like brand myself or get stuck in a box. I always, as an artist, I always try to be as open as possible. But of course, I have like a preference and an aesthetic that I really aspire to. When I was very young, like around 10 years old, I was very fascinated by films from the late 30s and early 40s, like people like Marlene Dietrich, Rita Hayworth, Alana Turner, and these are like my peak of beauty, my personal peak of beauty that I aspire to. And when I was younger, I was kind of jealous because I couldn't like as a male character, I couldn't like live up to that role. And then I started experiencing drag, and that gave me a possibility to live this kind of aesthetic, and that's what I always try to go for, this perfection, this detail, this peak of beauty in my eye, because like beauty is like a very universal language, and everyone finds a different thing beautiful, and that's kind of the aesthetic I try to go for.
Well, this is what attracted me to you, because that's also this that 1930s time, that look, that's I also love. I think it was a time of real glamour. We girls are really looked like girls and women, and it was, of course, that time where all these romantic films were made. Um, and but you do it so well also with the photography, the pictures, that it really looks like authentically from that time.
I think I like extremities kind of, and you
Yeah.
find like in very certain periods you find like very extreme expressions, like in the 30s or in the 60s or in the 80s, and that's what I feel like drawn to. I'm like very interested in 60s styles because like the hair was so expressive, and the silhouettes were very unique, and I always try to like, I work with a lot of photographers, but I do some of the pictures myself, and I always try to find like an outlet for my expression. Either it's through makeup or through photography, and or styling and clothing and hair and stuff. Yeah, it's how I
So,
express.
and do you also have these shall I say personas, or how do you call that when you do these female roles? Do you also then study that you do it authentically like them, or do you try to keep your own personality in that?
I think when I started, there's a lot of different ways you can approach drag. Like there is like literally like the female impersonating. I'm trying to be Lana Turner. I'm trying to be Tina Turner. I'm trying to be this and that person. For myself, and when I started creating this character, I really wanted to be like myself. And if you take like a character from that period and put it in modern times, and that was my approach, so I always try to play myself.
Okay.
It's a role I created for myself and that I play, and yeah.
And you're a singer as well?
Actually, yes. I studied music. That's like my root in this artistic realm.
Yeah.
I had a bachelor's study in jazz vocals, yeah, and composition. That is
So
like
that fits actually also that time period that you are so fascinated in.
yeah. It's a route, like a
Yeah.
line that I follow throughout my life.
Yeah. And then now Catrice is your, how did you get the name? How did you come up with the name?
The name is actually a name of a very good friend of mine. It's a person that actually exists.
Oh, okay.
It's a very it's a switched up a little bit from her original name, but it was like her calling name, if you like, and I borrowed it kind of, and she's fine with it. She knows about it.
Okay.
And she likes it because it's funny when she reads the name like in magazines and stuff. It's very funny for her.
Yeah. And the Liberty, so it's Catrice Liberty. Is that the name? Shall I say?
Also part of like the.
But that's also a part of her.
Yeah, it was the whole thing.
Yeah, but in for instance with drag, these names, the names has a specific meaning, and is that always the case, or is it just a like you made a sort of a connection with somebody?
Like I said, it's hard for me to speak about other people because drag is like so differently. Everyone does it differently, and drag is a very free kind of art that you can do. So everyone has an own approach, but I think like the name is a very personal thing, and like for example, it's also like a regional, because like in America you have like kind of a house system, so you have a mother and she gives a name to a daughter, and it's like a whole family thing, and sometimes you find it in Europe too, but I for myself had like this personal connection to the name.
But now, Catrice, I want to know, how long does it take you to put your makeup on? Because you look gorgeous.
Thank you. It actually it varies. It depends on like if I'm in a hurry, I can do it in like 40 minutes. If I'm feeling it, it can take 3 hours. So there is like no specific thing. But if I'm like in the theater and working and stuff, I try to do it as quick as possible. So that's that it's also like in the theater when I play Sissi, I try to keep it like very kind of original, still draggy, but it's always kind of the same look, so you can characterize easier. But when I'm like having a photo shooting or stuff, I like go more artistically. I think, yeah.
But you are very artistic. I mean, I stalked your Instagram page because they're so gorgeous, and you do these females. Yeah, I mean, your hair, it's like everything. It looks perfect. It looks really like these pictures. And then I was also looking at your makeup. You are very creative. Did you teach yourself?
I teached it myself. Yeah, I have like no like higher education in makeup, and I know how to paint my face so that I kind of get the look that I want, that I'm trying to reach for. and I think it works.
Yes, it's amazing.
But
And
it takes time and practice, of course, because
yeah.
it's like the makeup is like different than like beauty makeup. It's like more like theater makeup. It's very heavy and stuff. It's not, it's a different approach to makeup, I think. So I don't really know if it's taught in that kind of style. I
Mm.
never looked into it.
But I mean, do you look at the picture, say, for instance, you want to create a look, then you just experiment with it, or do you have a specific picture that you look at and try to copy that?
I analyze a lot, and
Mm.
I analyze and I read a lot about how people applied their makeup in the time and what was like on vogue, if you want to call it like
Yeah.
that. Um, and I also, when I take pictures of myself, I look at them very critically. I'm my worst, harshest critic
Mm.
myself.
Mm.
So I always try to look and see, okay, what can you do better next time, and how can you, what kind of technique you can go for to approach and get this different kind of look. So
Mm.
it's a journey.
Okay. But Catrice, you will die when you see my makeup cabinet because it's two eyeshadows, a pencil, and a mascara.
It can be enough, but it works for you, or it works for you.
I don't.
What
Oh,
you're trying to reach for. I,
yeah.
I can bet you and guarantee you you wouldn't like this makeup on you during the day.
Really? Oh, I would love to. Oh, I would love to go in that back in that time period and just be, some glamorous girl. I think it was amazing the time, that we see. I mean, of course, it was all in film, but still, I think it was a glamorous time.
I think I remember a quote from Marlene Dietrich. She was very into contouring and stuff, and contouring. She went very extreme with her look, and she like said that movies and the way movies are made are so reaching a so high level that the makeup is behind, and that when you get like so on high definition that you like the makeup is too harsh. And there are a lot of movies from Marilyn Monroe, and they recolorized and stuff, and you can really see the lines on her face, and it's very
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
Mm. And uh, for example, now, how do you prepare? I ask all the artists this. I want to know, how do you prepare? Not apart from the makeup and everything, but how do you prepare on the day of a performance, for example? Um, yeah,
Like you mean mentally, like
yeah,
for the
yeah,
stage.
yeah.
Yeah, I like to try, and I like being calmed down and not and being kind of introverted, I think, so I can concentrate. Especially right before going on stage, I try to be very quiet and internalized and know what I'm saying, and having like an appearance when you walk on the stage, because like the performance starts with going on stage actually,
Mm.
and going off stage, so you have to be like mentally prepared for this kind of stuff. And also because I'm like not, even when I'm not like in a theater production, it's like I always play a role, and I always have to like be into it, because my daily character is different from my role. And
Mm.
so you have to be like in there like this, and yeah, it's a switch that you turn on and off.
Mm. And do you think that people understand, I mean, in Vienna, it's you have these shows now. Is it on average? Do you think people understand drag?
Um, I think it gets better. Like
Mhm.
we're in a time, especially with the show RuPaul's Drag Race, that it's very approachable for people, and their drag queens are in their living rooms now, basically through
Yeah.
TV or through internet. So I think the understanding about what drag is getting better, but I think that there is still like people, oh, she wants to be a woman, or oh, she wants to change her sex. Some people want that. Some people use drag as an approach to that, but not everybody. And I think people have sometimes a hard time differentiate what happens on a stage and what happens in real life. And I think that's with every artistic field, because you always like see people on stage, or when they are like in their character. And I think people sometimes have a hard understanding that there is a difference and a line.
Different. And but this is also why I believe artists should talk more, because I think also, you know, even musicians, for example, conductors that I speak to, we see one aspect of them. We see them, you know, on the podium or on this in the orchestra, and the part before that or leading to that we don't understand always. So do you think it is important also that that we speak more about drag and about what it means and what it you know what it is to you, for example?
I think on a personal level, it's good to talk about it, and being like, hey, drag is an art form, and people like to express themselves through drag culture. But I think art should be art, and not every art should be explained in that kind of level. Because if you take like a painter or a writing, people want to like interpretate stuff, and that's also fine. But I think like on a personal level, we should talk about it in general, that there are no misconclusions and stuff. I think
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
because when you say or talk about conductors, like you have like movies and movie scenes with conductors who are like shown as the true musical genius, and they're going wild on stage, and then you go actually to a concert and see that there is not so much movement than you
Exactly.
actually think there is.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is always misconceptions sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes.
But it's also, my daughter is a ballet dancer, and she also gets that, you know, that people have, because they've seen some film, and then it's a total misconception about the art and about what ballet dancers do. And you know, she also finds sometimes it's frustrating because people don't understand really what it's all about. And yeah, I agree what you say. You know, you want to not really to delve into the personal aspect, but that you want to delve into, that you want to know about the art and what the art is about.
You want to be
And
able to like express freely
yeah,
without any questioning that you have to explain, because like
mm,
I bet a lot of ballet dancers get, are you bulimic, do you have an eating disorder,
yeah,
do you smoke, and that's like a misconception. Of course there are people that do that and they have a problem, but not everybody is like that. And
yeah.
yeah, but you don't want like always explain. You want to express, and leave it up to people to interpret it, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I
To a
totally.
certain level, of course, to a certain
Yeah.
level, of course.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. So, what is the next? What is your next performance?
We at the moment we play like the brunch show like every Sunday in a cafe residence, and we have till September. We have on Saturday evening we have a matinee, a late night show, or it starts at 6 p.m. And it's more like more comedic and not so serious. And yeah, there I have 2 concerts in September at Gasometer, but it's not public yet.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a little bit difficult with Corona at the moment. We're struggling,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of the next project.
I would so love to come and see the program you have at the brunch program you have at Schönbrunn. Yeah,
Bring
it
friends.
sounds
Nice show.
it sounds amazing, and I love the fact that that the story is told like that, and with the, like you say, the bit of history and also a bit of comedy and many truths, being told. Catrice, it was so lovely to talk to you. You are so beautiful. You are so beautiful also now on Zoom, just as on your pictures on Instagram. But yeah, please let me know in the future when you have something coming up and you would like to talk about, performance or something, because I would so love to follow you on what you do. It's wonderful work. Yeah. I think you're a great artist. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Usually I post all my stuff on Instagram because it's like the easiest way to connect to people. But people can also like look up my homepage. It's www.dragqueen.at. Yeah.
Okay. I will make the link of your webpage to the description of the video.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you. Have a lovely afternoon.
And I hope to speak to you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.